Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune and the Leadership Series. And I am super excited about my next guest. She is super smart, talented, and her name is Brandi. And I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you what all the things she's amazing about. So, Brandi, take it away.
Well, first, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to have this opportunity with you today. My name is Brandy Wilson Edwards. I am an attorney here in Dallas, Texas, and a motivational speaker. I wear a lot of hats, and typically I'm wearing pink, but I did some red lips today. But I definitely wear a lot of pink that I'm known for. And I am the founder of the Self Love Challenge. It is my platform that I have used over the years to motivate, empower, and challenge people to love themselves while they work on themselves, which essentially means that you love yourself during the work, not after it, because we are all a work in progress. And it's about the journey and choosing to reach a place in your life as you grow and evolve where you can accept yourself without conditions. And so while my brand has a big emphasis on self-love, I treat it as a lifestyle. And I speak to a variety of groups, women's groups. I've even spoken at schools about confidence and courage, uh, imposter syndrome, and how to rise above it. But my big passion currently is actually speaking to the legal community and helping attorneys create strategies to manage stress and understanding the power when they pause. And I have an entire presentation around that where I walk everyone through an acronym that I created for pause. And I also enjoy helping attorneys create and find meaningful happiness in their life. And it is centered around the 5 C's, where in order to have meaningful happiness, you start with desiring change, seeking clarity, building confidence, practicing courage, and celebrating yourself along the way. And in pursuing that happiness and that journey is really taking time to prioritize your happiness by making sure that you make time for a passion project or a hobby that you enjoy. So I am also certified to teach mindfulness and yoga, and certainly incorporate a lot of that into my presentations, specifically mindfulness, because it does wonders for stress management. And that is just a quick, short and sweet overview of a few things that I do.
Wow, I am so impressed and so excited. There's like 101 questions I have for you. But first of all, kudos for being an attorney. I
Thank
just think
you.
that's so cool. And the fact that you're taking what you do and take it to another level, I really admire you. And you're going to be helping out a lot of people with the fact that you're taking this and putting it into a course. Your course will be prepared here soon, which,
Yes.
by the way, we did a little sneak peek here. We put her email underneath her name right there because you're going to want to get on her mailing list so that you can keep up with everything this magnificent Brandi does. So let me ask you, what inspired you to be an attorney and to go this way and educate people? If you don't mind sharing that with us, that would be wonderful.
Oh, I would love to. So, from a very young age, I was always interested in being an attorney and loved helping people, and I still do. And I think that's why the motivational speaking aspect comes so natural to me, is because I just love helping people and empowering them in a variety of different ways. But really, it was through my burnout in my legal career that I was able to turn into a blessing, because years ago I was just really unhappy where I was at and was questioning, do I want to stay at my firm? Do I want to switch careers altogether and do something else? And sought out on this self-discovery journey. And it was really about taking courageous action and following my intuition and exploring what made me happy and what was resonating with other people, that really all of this was born. And while I started out speaking to women and then to schools, middle schools and high schools, and then business professionals, and now attorneys, I think it's just a great example of following what lights your soul on fire and giving yourself permission to be a beginner, and knowing that it's never too late to start or to start over. And you can be a lot of things simultaneously, because I thought in the beginning that I needed to be an attorney or a speaker, and now I realize I can be both.
That is just awesome. That alone is very inspiring, and I'm just glad I've met you this way. Now, with all that said, how long have you been an attorney, and how long did it take you to realize what your passion was?
I've been practicing for about 10 years now and speaking about 2 years. And I would say that really in the motivational speaking space, it was really what I was born to do. I just took an interesting way to figure it out. And that's where I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. I did competitive public speaking when I was in middle school, and I moved around a lot. So by the time I graduated high school, I was attending my sixth school. And I really didn't do a lot of speaking in high school, but I always knew I wanted to be an attorney, thought I would be in the courtroom being a litigator. And unfortunately, that was not the case, and really found myself stuck behind a desk all day long, buried in legal paperwork and helping people with their problems. And through that unhappiness, I did a lot of reflection on what is it that I want to do. I read a lot of personal development books, went to conferences, went to a transformational women's retreat, and that is really where I started to gain clarity and then take courageous action towards pursuing what it was that I was passionate about and what it was that I enjoyed. And had I not created and hosted my first workshop in 2017, I wouldn't have really ended up in the space where I'm at. And I think that's just a kind reminder for all of your listeners that you don't have to have everything figured out before you start. You just take one action, and that action leads you to exploring something else. And I'm so grateful for my legal education because it really took me experiencing the stressful environment and the burnout so that I could be relatable to other attorneys and help them with their stress management in a variety of different ways
That
and
is
find
awesome.
happiness and find happiness.
Which, speaking of happiness, here I did my little homework, and you collaborated on a book.
I did. I actually have a book that is being released next month. I have not promoted it much, but if, for anyone who's interested, you can email me at theselflovechallenge@gmail.com, and I can get you some information on how you can order that.
And so, let me ask you a little bit about the self-love challenge, because you have so much passion. I'd love to hear a little bit about that.
So that was really born by me doing the internal work on myself. I was going to yoga regularly. I was challenging myself. It was a hot yoga class. I'd never done it before. And I always struggled with body image issues and feeling like once I achieve X, Y, or Z, then I will feel happier or more content with myself or feel more successful. And it was really through yoga that I was able to find a place where I could stop being so hard on myself and love myself in the moment without conditions, even though I had goals and wanted to work on myself physically and mentally in different ways. And I started sharing some of my journey online on social media, and I realized the more that I was vulnerable, the more it was really through positive reinforcement that I kept showing up, because I would receive messages from people saying, "Thank you so much for what you wrote today. I felt like you were speaking directly to me." And so I just started doing that more. And then I thought, well, let me get some people together and create a live event. So I hosted my first event, and it went well. And then really through that self-discovery journey of learning to love myself in the moment while also wanting to be happier professionally and personally, I discovered my passion for speaking and helping other people.
Brandy, you're an amazing person, and I got to tell you that even though we don't have a site to send anybody right at this moment except your email, I really would encourage everyone to take this email down and email this girl, because she didn't wait till everything was perfect. She didn't wait till her course was perfect or her page was perfect or anything. She followed her passion, and now she knows that is where she's driven. And you're such an inspiration. I mean, attorney to realizing that, a lot of people don't talk about being an attorney and being miserable. So you being vulnerable and sharing that and putting a beautiful human face to something that, is a problem, and making things as happiness and sharing it with the world. I'm blessed to know you. I think this has been fantastic. So please, everybody, follow Brandy, as well as the self love challenge gmail.com. Is there anything else you'd like to share with anybody before we wrap it up?
Well, first, thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate it. And for anyone interested in booking me to speak at your firm or company, definitely email me, theselflovechallenge@gmail.com. And my final words that I would leave with everyone is happiness is a choice. And it's all about showing up for yourself, being a zealous advocate for yourself, not just for your clients, not for the people in your life that you love and care about, but choosing to make yourself and your happiness a priority, not an option. And in doing that, finding out what lights your soul on fire, making empowering choices over disempowering choices, being productive instead of destructive, and taking an inventory of your life and habits and routines and curating a life that you love so that you can really find a place where you're thriving and not just barely surviving. And so with that, happiness is a choice, and now is a perfect opportunity to start prioritizing that for yourself.
That is amazing. I think you're fantastic. And I look forward to seeing you, maybe some other podcast or something. Who knows? But I just think this is fantastic. Please make sure to follow or email Brandi so that you can stay in touch with all the things that are coming up her way. And if you didn't learn anything from today, was that be resilient, follow your passion, do it anyways, and your dreams will eventually come true, right?
Absolutely. Be strong and courageous in pursuing what makes you happy.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brandi.
Bye.
Bye. Hold on.